Test 1, 2. Okay, now we're cooking. H Wolf 3 here for the Truth Hurts. And I have none other than my illustrious partner in crime, none other than Roman Claude Rankin. Say hi to the people, Claude.
What's going on? I know y'all busy.
Yeah, it's been a minute, Claude. I'm gonna throw you a picture up.
I want them to see me on Popos. Hopefully, I got one.
This man said, I don't want to be on Candy Camera. I don't want to be wanted.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I got people wanted to be in Detroit.
You got warrants in Detroit? I didn't know that.
No, I ain't got no warrants.
Oh, that's good. That's good to know.
Hockey time.
You got warrants in hockey time.
Yeah, they still hate me.
That's a Tales of the Wreck story. Oh, by the way, everybody, this episode is called Tales from the Wreck. With coworkers like you who needs enemies. So we're going to go over a rogues gallery of our personal all-time favorite employees. These employees were something else. And the names will be, we're only going to use their initials, and we're going to change it up so you won't, hopefully nobody will know who they are. The only person I think I might name, you know what, I'm not going to even name him, even though he's deceased. I'm not going to do it. So we're just going to tell our experiences with him and how we dealt with it. All right, Claude was a volunteer with me. He was a coach, assistant coach. And he, that was, pretty much assistant coach, volunteer. He worked for the program called the Parks Program.
I'm not going to talk about that. Too much
pain, too much bloodshed. That's a lot of pain and suffering there. So we're not going to go down that rabbit hole with the Parks Program. We were talking about that earlier. Claude's blood started to boil just talking about it. So we ain't going to even go there. But let's get right on the show, right on the road. We all know that when we are working, we're going to deal with people who, some are going to be your greatest allies, some are going to be your worst nightmare. And when City of Detroit Rec Department, we had a lot of great success. We did the Wolfpack Alliance table tennis team there. Out of there, we were out of Coleman Young. We also did programming at Williams, Joseph Walker Williams Community Center down there on 12th Street. That's Claude's old stomping ground. Am I right, Claude?
Yeah, that's my stomping ground.
That's his old stomping ground, folks. So right there in the heart of Claremont 12, the Williams Rec Center. And then we also did programs out of Lipke. Patton, George S. Patton, named after the general, World War II general.
Do you want to throw in a center that's dead now?
Considine.
Not like that one.
Oh.
That was dead too. There's another one that we won't mention because that man's still alive. That one that shouldn't have been a center. Shouldn't have been center at all. It's just there. It was there for a minute.
Evans?
Politics.
I know you ain't talking about Evans.
I'm talking about somebody else.
You talking about Coleman Young?
I'm talking about TC.
This one is going over my head, folks.
He was on 6 Mile.
No.
You don't know that one?
You talking about the Detroit Rec Department? No. If you anything outside the rec department, no. You're getting off subject. You're getting off topic. Nope. Stay on topic. This is only rec department. City of Detroit. Yeah. Yes, you did. Don't try to sneak nothing in there. We already discussed this. It ain't like we nobody's being blindsided. Hoodwink and bamboozled, like the New York Knicks. But anyway, all right, here we go.
Let's go.
What I'm going to do is name my top 5 employees that, well, let's just say they were in a role where, yeah, they weren't exactly my best friends. We're going to give a quick backstory to each and keep it moving. And then we're ultimately going to tell how we dealt with it from a Christian perspective. All right, so let's get it going. Top 5, my worst employees I work with. The first one I'm going to name, the initials start with KP. KP.
KP. Oh, yeah. That person had me.
That was a very interesting person. One of the things that tie all these people together that I'm going to be talking about, they were what I would describe as kind of hard-headed, stiff-necked. What was the old saying? The parents used to tell us hard-headed, make a soft behind. Well, these were adults, and most of these people I'm going to be talking about, I was their like supervisor, or I was ranked above them, and I just could not tell these people nothing. They wouldn't listen, and ultimately it led to disaster. So Claude knows this person quite well. So
hey man, let's go.
So this person was a play leader in the rec department. I'm not going. I'm gonna go ahead and drop a hint. I'm gonna say the center we were at Williams.
Oh, Lord.
So this person just was very stubborn, hard-headed, stiff-necked. I was trying to tell him to mind his business, and he just would not listen. And he ultimately got in trouble with a youth worker whom, let's just say, they were doing things that were not PG. Not PG. So I told him the youth worker worked in the locker room.
Yeah.
And this KP was what they call dry land, was a play leader, meaning he did recreation work wasn't in the pool area or the locker room area. So he just became obsessed with this young man and kept going into the locker room.
I'm not going to do it. I ain't going to do it. I can't do it.
Claude, it's too embarrassing to even talk about, but
I can't do
it. We kept telling this man, we said, stay out of there. And
don't go in there.
Don't go in there looking at that young boy, and he wouldn't listen, and ultimately cost him his job.
Amen.
Is that guy crazy? So we tried to tell him, he wouldn't listen, and it was a pretty ugly situation. Oh man, these graphics are not coming up right. But anyway, I'm gonna let Claude reflect in a moment. But a couple other little tidbits about this guy. It's many. He once drove a city van down the wrong way street full of kids and rolled the van. Who does that? But he did. Thank God nobody was hurt or killed or nothing like that. Thank the Lord. Then in another situation, I'm glad I said we were in Williams because Williams was on Rosa Parks Boulevard, aka 12th Street. Well, the 12th Street guys would come in to play basketball.
And, you don't do that all that time.
And KP had a youth basketball team, and he would constantly. This was on a Saturday. He would go into their time slot. And I was like, dude, what are you doing? You're going into the time slot. They ain't get too much time anyway. They ain't get the gym. That's not the point. The point is, when your time comes to an end, I expect you to stop. But did he listen? Oh, no. Miraculously, he was not beat down.
Yes. Those people don't play about their basketball.
People don't play about their basketball time, and I've seen good people get very hurt, very, very, very bad over some basketball, and it was just wasn't worth it. So that was a real thorn in my side because to make up for his stubbornness, I would have to, as the person in charge, would have to stay late to make up for this guy's foolishness. So stupidity. So that's pretty much all I got to say. I'm gonna let Claude finish it up. Anything you want to add? Because Claude knew him.
How can you not be that stupidity to that person? We tell you. 12th Street's covered. That means let's go. That means you go. They tell you no extra time. What's wrong with
you? Right. Folks.
Wait. This is a key plan. What is coming? What you just gonna stand there and get beaten up by a wolf? Or you just gonna leave?
Beaten up by a wolf? No, I wasn't the one he had to worry about. It was the 12th Street guys.
No, the big bad wolf.
Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying, like a metaphor. Yeah.
Metaphor. Yeah, I'm trying to make it a metaphor.
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
ain't no wolf coming. We good. Man, this man. You know what may have spared why they spared him? Because he was working with children. That's probably the only reason why. And some of them they were neighborhood children. It wasn't like it was his own special group he brought in from somewhere. So I think that's the only reason why. But they didn't spare me because I had to make sure I made up for that. And usually when a person can't follow instructions, it can lead to a disaster. So that's all what we're gonna say about him. We're gonna keep it moving. Next up is the initials are HJH. You know what I'm talking about?
JH.
Reverse that in your mind.
Go with the story and I catch up.
Okay. This next person, HJH, was a friend. Well, this was an exception to this narrative. This guy was actually, I considered him a friend. He had a disability, and I tried my best to help him.
Oh, okay.
But the problem with him is he would get inebriated, or AKA drunk. And the reason why he made this list because one day You ever heard of the commercial? I've fallen and I can't get up.
Yes, I heard that before.
Well, that happened to him, and it was because he had too many drinks. It was really, really a sad sight, and it was during one of the holidays when we were having a special event. I think it was a heathen holiday of Halloween. I can't remember. It's been so long ago, but it was really an embarrassing situation. Very embarrassing. And sometimes people, to cope with what they deal with, they drink, and that was just one situation where it was just utter humiliation. And so he made this list because of that one incident. There were others, but other he used to be somewhat, dare I say, reliable.
Whatever you want to say.
Claude not buying it, but
I ain't buying nothing.
I know you ain't buying nothing. You ain't buying the bridge in Brooklyn, but that it landed him on this list. I'm sorry.
He just made the list.
JH, sorry about that. If he ever sees this and figures it out, it was him. Sorry, bro. Love you, but that you made the list. All right, let's move on. Next up is I forgot what number, because I've already mentioned 2.
You mentioned 2.
Oh yeah. Oh Lord. All right, here we go.
You got 3 more.
Yeah.
You got
coming in at number 3, TA. Now, what I'm going to
I got it.
What I'm going to do now, I'm going to play a video, and this person is actually going to be in this video, but I'm not going to reveal who it is. So stand by. You have whoever doesn't know who I'm talking. Whoever can't figure out who it is, you'll have to forever guess, because I'm not going to reveal it. But they're in this video. That's the hint. All right, stand by. Now this is quick backstory. This was done a very, very long time ago. This is a commercial for a school called Catherine Ferguson Academy. It was a school that helped young girls who were pregnant before they were married, who were still in high school, finish their education. It's since been closed. This was quite a long time ago, back in '97. Stand by.
You have So you find yourself in this situation.
You're pregnant or you have a baby.
Now what?
What do you do? Do you quit school? Quit your dreams?
Where do you go?
You know you need to finish school.
But how?
There's a place
That understands both your needs.
Catherine Ferguson Academy.
You and your baby are not alone.
Call us about classes. School for you and your baby.
Catherine Ferguson Academy.
All right. Oops. Feedback.
Well, whoever that is. I'm sorry.
Well, you know what? You can make mistakes in life, and that was for a while, that was an opportunity for young ladies to finish school. and it was a good concept, but unfortunately they it was under Detroit Public Schools and they closed it. And I never forget, it was the saddest thing. The young ladies had a protest, and I think they got arrested. It was terrible, embarrassing, very embarrassing. But anyway, the person I'm about to talk about is in that video. That commercial, and but other than that, I can't reveal who it is. So whoever's watching this will forever have to guess. So anyway,
That person that just made the list.
so this person was another person. Hold on, I'll put your picture back up. This person, TA.
I didn't do nothing. I didn't do nothing. I'm still good. I'm still in.
No, I'm talking never. I'm talking about
I
never.
know.
Stop being
I know
silly.
that.
Okay, now back on. Let's stay on track now, so we can get through this. So TA was a person whom, when I first met them, was at the Williams Center, and when I saw them, I saw their disposition and demeanor, how wild it was.
Wilding out.
Is that what you want to say? Wild it out. Yeah, wild it out. She was wild and I was out of there because I'm like, I'm heading in the opposite direction. Clearly, she has mental issues. Got to have it. So, as destiny would have it, as the Lord would have it, when the supervisor of Williams found out how she was, he immediately had her transferred to where I was at, which was Considine.
Yeah, pulled the okie doke.
Pulled the okie doke. So it was no escape. I was like, man, foiled again. So I've been bamboozled, hoodwinked. So I said, I'm going to have to deal with her. There ain't no way around it. So I began to slowly work with her and try to get her under control by making sure I gave her tasks to do and to execute them or do them and try to keep her from distractions. Because she was a pretty wild individual, very wild. So I think she went to Dykesville. But
I try to keep that up.
So anyway, so what happened, she started doing better. We actually made a PSA with her in it. And ironically, it was about losing your temper. But anyway, I was getting her under control. And how can I put this? She talked me into hiring her she had a younger brother. So wait a minute. No, we'll get to that. So she taught me into hiring her little brother, and her brother was, well, I better not get into too much details, but he started working there. So if I'm not mistaken, I can't remember if she dropped him off and picked him up, or if he caught the bus. I think she dropped him off and picked him up. She would wait till her shift ended, and then she would go pick him up. Well, one fateful evening, she came to pick him up, and she parked in front of the center in her vehicle. And she really was not. It was on Woodward Avenue, center, Considine. And it still is, but back then, like now, you can't park in the second lane from the curb. You're really not supposed to park in. Well, yeah, I guess you can. At certain times of the day, you can park at the curb. But you're not supposed to park a lane off the second lane off the curb. So what happened? She came to pick up her brother. She came in the office and told me she was here to get him. And I said, well, he's not off just yet. Give it a few minutes. So she said, well, I'll go back and wait in the car. So she went back to her car, and then I say 20 seconds later, I hear this boom. And so me and the staff run out, and a guy has rear-ended her car. And it was not a pretty sight at all. And she was
irate.
Well, she was almost in a state of almost shock, semi-consciousness, kind of moaning and groaning. Seat had collapsed, and she was darn near in the back, pretty much in the back seat of the car vehicle. Really wasn't a back seat left. It had been smashed like an accordion. And what happened next was not pretty. Somebody, like a bystander, the guy who hit her was in a pickup, and a big pickup, and he just got out and was just looking. So it was a guy who was a bystander, and he said, man, she was in the wrong lane. That's why he hit her. Boy, all of a sudden, she woke up out of her semi-state of consciousness, out of her coma, and went on a rampage that I have not seen too many of the likes of in my lifetime. And was talking about, I wasn't in the wrong lane. So she starts chasing after this guy with a club. One of those steering lock clubs. Remember those?
I remember them.
And she chasing this man. We like, TA, calm down. you chasing the wrong, actually you chasing the wrong man. That's not the man that hit you. So she flings the thing at him, and the club comes disattached. Almost like a boomerang. And it came loose and hit a coworker, one of the parts of the club. And I'm looking at this in absolute horror. I'm like, I don't believe this is happening. Lord, I don't believe this is happening. And I said, once I turn in the report on this, she's finished.
She's finished. Adios, amigo.
Adios, amigo. But the coworker whom she struck, for some bizarre reason, they had pity on her. Why, I don't know. And she told me, don't put in the report that she had been struck. And I said, are you sure? I'm sorry, what?
I was been calling Lee the Bernstein.
The Bernstein, the man is called Lee Free. What's some of these other hustlers? Figer Law.
Yeah.
What's the other guy with the mamas in the past?
I don't know. I forget now. There's a lot of them. So I've been calling all of them.
Pardon me, y'all. Yeah, so bottom line was that saved her job. Because she pleaded with me, and I said, because she knew she was finished if I had included that in the report. But I did do a report, and it was deemed that she was partially responsible because she was basically almost in the middle of Woodward. So you're not supposed to park, there. But the guy was drunk. And when we told her, you chasing after the wrong guy and you almost killed your coworker, she was like, she doubled down. She was like, well, he shouldn't have said that. I was like, oh, Lord. So she
Oh, girl.
she was the type of person you just. I did my best, but very hard to deal with. Very hard. And thankfully, I was moved up out of there after
Everybody.
several months, and I was
Yeah.
moved to another center uh, called Barwell to supervise. But
Man,
TA got progressively worse, and I don't know what happened to her. I think she moved on, or the department moved on. Either or.
well, adios.
Adios,
Adios.
amigos. Do you remember this person, Claude?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Am I telling the truth?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Yeah, person pretty wild. That's just the tip of the iceberg.
That's just yo. That's just nice.
Yeah,
Just being.
I'm being very nice. It was
I got some.
it was a lot
I got
of.
some.
I'm
I
sorry,
got some
what?
other versions. I got some other versions of the story too, but I
Right,
don't have that much time.
right. Oh, speaking of time, let's keep it moving because we got to get to yours too. I'm down to number one.
What's number one?
Number one is drum roll, please. Big Slow is
It's a big slow.
DJ. DJ. You know who that is?
Keep talking. I can't pick up
You'll
on.
pick up on? Okay, DJ. Well, this was a worker who I worked at I think it was a couple of different centers. Williams and a center called Patton. And that's enough hints right there. But this person did not like me at all and was not shy about expressing it any way possible. And she told me basically to my face, basically kick rocks. I don't respect your authority. You better leave me. You better leave me alone, or I'll sick the union on you. All types of foolishness. So I said, all right, DJ, whatever. Now, what this person did not know that many years prior, somebody had told me something about her that if I was not a Christian person, I could have used that information and destroyed her with it, but I did refuse to do it. I refused to do it, and I literally turned the other cheek. But this was no, no Martin Luther King, not at all.
He said turn the other cheek. I'm like, oh, Martin Luther King, oh snap, I had to get that.
There was no Martin Luther King. I ain't talking about that type of thing. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about not retaliating because that's kind of what the devil was trying to tempt me to do, and so I didn't do it. So this person at every turn was always trying to be negative, always trying to undermine, and just totally ridiculous stuff. But one of their methods of operation, they call it modus operandi. Her method of operation, whenever we would have a big event, she would call off.
Okay. Yeah, I picked up on that.
Yeah, like that was going to hurt the program and make me look bad. But what happened? What happened one time? God blessed us with some volunteers from a church, called South Point, and we had a big program, and the church was there, and they were posse 30 deep. We had all types of help. So DJ, I should say, took off. And then after the weekend, came up to me and was like, "Oh, so how did it go?" I said, "It went fantastic, DJ. Went great. The church helped out, and it was so beautiful. We had about 300 or 400 children. They did this, did that, and boy, that infuriated her so much. She was like, I'm going to play bingo with the kids." I said, "Well, you do what you do."
Go ahead. Play some bingo. Give me some bingo chips.
Now, that was the highlight of our tenure together, because I just thought that was hilarious. But
it was a happy moment.
It was one of them happy moments. And I actually wanted her to take off. You didn't even realize it. I would rather you not be there and stir up all that negative energy and all the little haterade she would throw and all that stuff. So ultimately, second from the last conversation I had with her, she bragged about how she
was
leaving Detroit, leaving the area.
Congratulations!
And I was like, "Well, congratulations, DJ, congratulations." And then the next time we saw her, me and Claude saw her together. I was retired, and she was at Williams mopping the floors. So she was back. She was back.
What you doing? What you doing down there? Then you dropped it on the ground for you.
Claude, be nice. So anyway, so her plans were cut short. Were cut short because she had been hoodwinked and bamboozled herself. So that's just the tip of the iceberg. Claude, did you have any? Because she made your list too. What do you want to add about her? DJ.
DJ had a son. I couldn't stand it.
Don't say his name, please.
I'm not gonna put his name out there.
But I know who you're talking about.
He couldn't stand me. I couldn't stand him. Again, like, you see me in the pool, just let me drop. I don't want you to save me, man. You just let me drown, man, because I don't want you to save me, man.
Oh Lord, you said you rather drown than have a man save you. Now, that's bad. What was it about you two? Why didn't you get along? Did you ever understand what the issue was?
His mama. No. It was just ego. It was basically people that he hung out with. He hung out with certain people. I'm like, okay, fine. We young, maybe we get over it. We get older, and we might get over it. After we over the age 20, 18, you still treat me like I'm a little kid, bro. I'm like, we can do this. I'm gonna let you married. I'm gonna let it go. Like, I had too many things on my mind. Worry about your problem situation.
Exactly.
I let it go.
Exactly. You did the right thing. Because well, we won't get into the personal life. People start trying to figure out who we talk about. So, anyway, so that's my top 5. You know who I forgot?
Who's that?
Should I mention his name because he's deceased? No, I'm not gonna mention his name. But I will say his initials. HT.
Yeah.
I almost forgot him. He's number 2. DJ was number 1. HT was another hard head employee like KP. But the problem with HT was he was a drunkard. You would get drunk.
AA or NA?
AA. At least at best of my knowledge. So what would happen? We worked together at Pat. Now I will tell that much. What he would do, he'd wait till he would wait till Fridays, and that was the day where we would get paid every 2 weeks. So I would do as a supervisor. At that point, I was supervisor of the building because a previous supervisor had retired. And he would wait till I would do something called a check run, get the checks for the employees. And he would come up to the center drunk and cuss everybody out. Then leave. And so I was scratching my head like, what is this? What is wrong with this man? So I was getting a lot of complaints from staff and also from the public. And then the children, he would be out on the streets acting like a fool. He would get drunk. And the children would come back and report it. So that's bad. So consequently, what would happen when they would come in and he would try to, he would be in charge of an area like the game room or the computer lab. They didn't want to listen to him because they didn't respect him. That's bad. So I pulled him. That's bad. So I pulled him aside and said, "Dude, what are you doing? What is wrong with you? You can't touch me." What did he say? He was an ex-fireman, and he also was a stop, Claude. And he also was a school teacher, a retired. And I guess recreation was the last roundup for him. So I guess he just did not care. And I'm like, man, look, I wouldn't care if you was an astronaut. You are not going to come in here acting a fool. I'm sorry. I'm not going to. You can't do that nothing to me. I'm like, yes, I can. I'm your boss. Yes, I can. So, he pitched a fit. And then here was what the scary thing was. I went to management, and I was like, this man is out of control. You got a head like Barry Bonds.
Yeah, Barry Bonds. That man that hit like a whole bunch of baseball.
Right. He got a head like Barry Bonds. So I can't do nothing with him. He's not listening, so I'm going to write him up. Well, we haven't really done that before. And so what? What does that mean to me? Nothing. I'm going to do it. I wouldn't care if you let him get away with murder for the last 20 years. I'm not going to let him do this on my watch. No way. And so they didn't have it when they saw I wasn't going to back down. What choice did they have? They couldn't stop me. So I gave him what they call a
list.
Stop it. I gave him. I think they called it either it was an oral reprimand or a written. Well, written is more serious, but oral will get your attention. And after I did that, he was a model employee. So imagine if somebody would have taken the time to discipline him earlier, it would have probably never come to that.
Well, he became what you call the citizen,
Model
City Council
citizen.
Award. No, City Council Award. City Council Award.
Stop. Now you really being sarcastic. Now I don't know about that, but he became. He didn't give what? Well, all I know is he never gave me any more trouble. And even after I moved on from there, which was not too long after that, I was transferred. That's a whole other story.
We went
To
left
Lipton.
there and went to a freezer.
We went to a freezer, a meat freezer. But anyway, that's another story for another time. But from my understanding, he never gave the supervisors after any trouble either. So that's all it really took. It really took. All right, so we'll go. What'd you say?
We get locked up in the freezer. That's the last one that we was
Yeah.
center. That's another part.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna talk about it.
We're not gonna talk. We'll say that for another episode. All right. We're ready to wrap it up. I'm gonna give the scriptures in a minute. Who's the other two you wanted? I think you wanted to name two other ones.
Yeah.
Okay, you already named RD, DR.
Yeah.
Who's
What about FM? What about FM?
who is that? What,
FM. I don't want to mention the full name because that person is deceased too.
oh, I know it. It's a woman. Yeah.
After you left, your boy left. Your father left. What? Oh, what was this?
She said that.
Yeah. That one, and DE said it too. Oh, I got you now. It's like that. I'm being bamboozled.
All right, wait a minute, folks. Let's explain it to the people so they know what you're talking about. All right, so what Claude is referencing, I was working at Williams Recreation Center, Joseph Walker Williams, the one I mentioned earlier, and Claude, we were pretty much raising Claude, me and other members of the staff. So Claude, we were close because we were involved in the table tennis. And then Claude did hockey, floor hockey, and roller hockey, and he helped me out wherever he could, coaching whether it was basketball, my crazy PCC church team, to what was it? T-ball?
T-ball, yeah.
T-ball. I mean, it was so much different stuff. Hockey, all of that stuff. So the person Claude is referring to, FM, likened herself as the big boss around there, even though she was not the supervisor. The DE guy was the supervisor that Claude mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
So she did not like me at all. And she wanted me out of the mix so she could move up the ladder. So she got into DE's ear and they got me out of there. And I had a successful run there. It was like 3 years. And we got a lot accomplished. But I got traded.
Traded like Barry Bonds.
Traded like Barry Bonds from Pittsburgh to San Francisco. But anyway, when I left, the one Claude is referencing, FM, And DE came to him and like, yeah, your boy ain't here no more. Now what you gonna do? And I didn't realize I wasn't there, so I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know what he was going through, but his protected status was now over.
Yeah. I'm like, okay. I see how this gonna go. It's gonna go like
So that was a hot mess, but we survived. We survived it. Now, sadly, and this is a good way to wrap this whole thing up.
Yeah.
She conspired against me, whispered in the DE's ear, got me up out of there. But she turned on DE and wanted to jump from a position called a play leader, which was not even a salary position. She wanted to jump up and take his job. And
Job? Did you say job?
Did you say job? And when he found out about that, he was hopping mad, and he had her terminated.
You heard it was this one. Goodbye.
Hasta la vista, baby, terminated. I was like, wow. So he got her put out the department. That was a sad situation for her. And it was just bizarre how that all worked out. So God is watching, and when you do things that are not right. Now, he ended up passing DE a few years later.
What about FM?
And then FM passed, what was that, around 2018, 17, somewhere. We were talking about it the other night.
Yeah.
And it was sad, man, because, I don't know what she did after the rec department, but I know that hurt. That probably broke her heart because she did love the job, but what people didn't understand, I don't know, certain people, when they get positions and they get some power, it can go to their head. And she just didn't know how to handle it. It just was just totally, it was sad situation. Am I leaving anything out, Claude?
No, you got everything right on time.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how it went down. So God will work things out. He'll work things out. So now let's get ready to close. We're going to read these scriptures. Because when I was going through all this stuff, I had to, I couldn't be like, you ever seen the movie Columbiana or John Wick?
I seen John Wick.
I couldn't be like that. I couldn't be just murdering everybody. I'm supposed to be a Christian, so I have to do what Christ said do. So here's some scriptures that came to me that I'm sure was in my mind when I was facing a lot of these things. I'm going to put one of them up. Matthew 5th chapter 43 through 44. And it says this: ye have heard, this is words right from Jesus himself. You have heard it said, thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thine enemy. 44. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them that despitefully use you and persecute you, that ye may be the children of your Father which is in heaven. For he maketh the sun to rise on the evil and on the good, and sendeth rain on the just and on the unjust. And that is a true, of course it's true from the Bible, from the scriptures, but God is not going to, when the sun comes up, He ain't gonna just make it shine on us and not make it shine on FM and DE because they did people wrong. That's not how life works. He's going to deal with everybody in their due time if they're doing wrong. But He gives us an opportunity to turn from our evil ways. Unfortunately, in a lot of the people's cases we just have to talk about, they didn't turn. The only example I can mention that they turned was the HT, the one that was a drunk, who was giving me a hard time. Now what's her name? DJ. I think she was humble after that situation, and I think she calmed down. She really didn't have much of a choice. Didn't have much of a choice. Now the other scripture I'm gonna read. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, boy. Is this one. Matthew 5, 5th chapter, 10th verse. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. And in Matthew 5th chapter, 11th and 12. Blessed are ye when the men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. So that's how we approach things. We didn't retaliate and flatten nobody's tires. Lord knows people retaliated against me whether I had done anything to them or not. Some people just perceived because you was in a supervisory position, they just automatically assumed you was out to get them. And a lot of times I wasn't thinking about certain folk, but that was just something in their mind. And in some of the people's case we just talked about, I think that's how they thought. And it was really ridiculous. But we saw God deal with all of those people. And in some cases it was not pretty outcome at all. And we didn't wish for anything bad on anybody, but it's just like, why what are you doing? This does not make any sense. So some people learn too late. So that concludes Tales from the Wreck with friends and co-workers like you who needs enemies. So, Claude, anything you want to add to wrap it up?
No, we keep it up on the next shit.
Okay. But
I hope the holidays went well.
Well, for me, I hope everybody had a good holiday, Memorial Day. We don't so much celebrate it, but we do take the time to reflect and honor the people who sacrifice their lives to protect us, to keep our freedom.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
But in terms of, I take the time to reflect on my dad, who was a World War II vet. And that's really about it. I'm not into violence. I've never been a person who was a military guy who desired to go to the military and go and kill people. It just was not me. I'm not Rambo. I'm not even the transporter. I'm just a regular guy.
I'm Claude, bro.
And you, Claude. We want to slay people on the table tennis table. That was about it. Anyway, on that note, great show, Claude, as usual.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And we had an opportunity to talk about some of our old nemesis. We had to turn the other cheek and love your enemies, even though these people was out to get us. And we got through it. It wasn't easy, but God saw us through. And we're here still standing. So on that note, everybody have a blessed week. And we go into the work week, and remember, seek the truth. But when you find it, say it, Claude.
Truth hurts.
That's right. So get ready to get hurt. All right. Take care. Talk to you soon. God bless and peace.